Ah, don't be, my sweet lady. I never asked you for anything, did I? So I am forced to ask, if we are not to be lovers, are we at least to be friends? Good. Nothing would please me more. Some friendships are worth pursuing. Yes, I suppose you are correct. I hope it is so. Some friendships, after all, are worth pursuing. Sometimes it does. I shall remain hopeful that we are so lucky. Ah, then it seems I do have one regret in all of this. As you wish. It was recited to me, as I recall, by a rather wealthy target of mine. Let's see. The symphony I see in thee, it whispers songs to me. Songs of hot breath upon my neck. Songs of soft grants by my head. Songs of hands on muscled back. Songs of thee come to my bed. Songs of hot breath upon my neck. Songs of soft sighs by my head. Songs of nails upon my back. Songs of thee come to my bed. Oh, I know. I couldn't believe that she thought this would actually convince me to spare her. I had sex with her anyway, but that goes without saying. She still had to die. The poem was amusing at the time, however, and thus I've always remembered it. Here I thought you might be cheered up by some naughty poetry. You simply look so grim. Such an unflattering expression for such a handsome face. Ah, who wouldn't? Burn me in the chantry if you must, but you're a man to stoke the lust in women and other men alike. Surely you know this, and you're playing with me. Me, I tend to make the best of whatever situation I find myself in, stealing what moments I can. It's served me well most days. You might learn to do the same. No? That is good to know. Though you might have fooled me with those serious eyes of yours. Yes, I know. They never are, you see. Fortunately, I tend to make do with whatever time I have. It's served me well most days. You might learn to do the same. Oh? Then I learn something new about you every day. Or you could ignore my advice, considering where my brilliance has gotten me. Do you? It's always pleasing to have one's efforts recognized. Good karma all around. But you are a sour one at times, aren't you? Have it your way. Here I thought you might be cheered up by some naughty poetry. You simply look so unhappy. Such an unflattering expression for such a lovely face. Ah, who wouldn't? You're the kind of woman that stokes the lust in men and other women alike. Surely you know this and are playing with me. Now that is a thought, isn't it? Would it work? I'll have to keep that in mind. Personally, my preferred methods of seduction are a bit more tactile. I didn't think so. Personally, my preferred methods of seduction are a bit more tactile. Truly? You could have fooled me. And here I thought we were building up towards something. Oh well, enough poetry, I think. The time has come for traveling and the murdering of villains and whatever else passes for adventuring these days. Well, yes, but after we made love. What, do you think I am some kind of monster? It's not as if she didn't enjoy herself. Certainly there are much less pleasant ways to spend your last hours, no? Now. Let's keep the judging to a minimum. It's not as if you didn't know I was an assassin, huh? I did not spend my time tickling kittens. It required a certain amount of dedication, I'll admit, but it was worth it for the poem, I figure. You know, I kept telling the other crows that, and yet they never felt the same way. So she claimed. She was trying to seduce me, you see, and somehow she thought that this would actually convince me to spare her. Yes, I forgot. There must be much urgency wherever we go. Pardon me. You did, as I'll remind you, have me at your mercy. Quite frankly, at this point I would rather take my chances, even such as they are. As I see it, we have two options before us. Either you kill me, as you could have done when you caught me, or you recognize that we are incompatible and allow me to leave peacefully. What is it to be? Oh, very well. While it is against my better judgment, I will stay. I suspect it is simply so you may strip me of my equipment and send me packing anyhow. But let's hope against hope for a better outcome, shall we? That is not one of the two options. You did not make a very good student, did you? Much obliged, Grey Warden. Let us hope our paths do not cross again, Good luck to you on your quest. Then let's hope I've learned a thing or two about you, huh? Time for a rematch. For good or ill, I can remain no longer in your company. The time has come for me to leave. I acquired it on my very first job for the Crows. A Raveni merchant prince, and he was wearing a single jeweled earring when I killed him. In fact, that's about all he was wearing. I thought it was beautiful and took it to mark the occasion. I've kept it since, and I'd like you to have it. Don't get the wrong idea about it. You killed Taliesin. As far as the Crows will be concerned, I died with him. That means I'm free, at least for now. Feel free to sell it or wear it, whatever you like. It's really the least I could give you in return. Look, just take it. It's meant a lot to me, but so has what you've done. Please, take it. I have no better way to say it. Thank you. You are a very frustrating man to deal with. Do you know that? You are a very frustrating woman to deal with. Do you know that? We pick up every other bit of treasure we come across, but not this. You don't want earring, you don't get earring. Very simple. It's meant a lot to me, but so has what you've done. Thank you. I have no better way to say it. I may not need to, but I want to. Let's hope not. No? I've worn it for years myself, though. Perhaps standards are a little different in the north, I still have the earring. I would like to give it to you, as a token of affection. Will you take it? Not unless you wish it. Then what we feel is not enough, is it? None. I think you know this too. Not likely. I earned what I have. I live with it, or not at all. I'll take that as an answer. Let's hope I've learned a thing or two since our last encounter, And go I shall. Let us hope our paths do not cross again. I don't know how you found it, but thank you. Now, if only you could find me a prostitute or two, a bowl of fish chowder, and a corrupt politician, I'd really feel like I was home. And the feet as well. Marvelous. But I'm not finished admiring them yet. Can you smell that? Like rotting flesh. Just like back in Antiva City. Ah, of course. Purely a practical gift, huh? I understand completely. Maker's breath. You're right. It is like my mother's. I did not mean to sound ungrateful. It is just... Wait. I see it now. These are Dalish, no? Much like the gloves that belonged to my mother. The leather was less thick, and it had more embroidery, but these are very close, and quite handsome. Do I seem surprised? Perhaps I am. No, I imagine not. Still, I appreciate the fact that you even thought of me. No one has simply given me a gift before. Thank you. They will assume that I am dead along with Taliesin. So long as I do not make my presence known to them, they will not seek me out. A very good thing. It is in fact what I had hoped for ever since you decided not to kill me. I do not know. It seems I have options now, whereas once I had none. I suppose it would be possible for me to leave now if I wished. I could go far away, somewhere where the Crows would never find me. I think, however, that I could also stay here. I made an oath to help you, after all, and saving the world seems a worthy task to see through to the end, yes? Then stay I shall. I am with you until the end. Provided you do not tire of me first, or I die, or you die. But there you go. Well, we can't have that, can we? I'd best stay lest the consequences become unseemly. Let us return to the task at hand, then. There is still much to be done, yes? But that is what I'm asking you. Do you want me to go? Do you need me here? I must admit, I had hoped for a different answer. But I will not stay where I am not needed. Fare you well, my fine friend. May we meet again some day under better circumstances, when all of this is done. Fare you well, my lady. May we meet again some day under better circumstances, when all of this is done. I'm not sure how to respond to that. Nobody has ever... I mean, normally these things are decided by others. I have enjoyed our company, but I am wondering if it is not time for me to leave. That would be the practical thing to do, no? There is a freedom awaiting me that I have never known. But I suppose the decision is yours. Will you let me go? All right. You make a convincing argument. You do seem to stumble onto treasure on a regular basis somehow. Ha! And what guarantee is there that I shall see any of it? Beyond your promise, that is. It is not that I don't trust you, precisely, but I could just as easily wind up dead. Treasure means little to anyone in that state. Now, what kind of talk is that? Does this situation really call for such violence? In my line of business, we like to call that practicality. Still, I appreciate all that you've done. Ah, yes. Well, oaths are fine and well when you're facing death at the hands of someone you do not even know. Surely we have come further than that. You do know I could simply say yes now and sneak away from camp later, yes? But if you wish to force the issue, I will not argue it. After all, you have been of great assistance to me. I am willing to continue, so let's not make things unpleasant, huh? Fair enough? But if you wish to force the issue, I will not argue it. For now. You helped me after all, correct? And who could resist such a request? Very well. I will not abandon you, but we are not friends. Our time has been interesting, but you do not need me, I am certain. Come, let us not argue further. Until we meet another time, eh? I wish you luck. Do you? I suppose there are worse things I could do with my time than save the world. Then allow me to express my appreciation for your help. It has been a most beneficial arrangement. Until we meet again. Perhaps under better circumstances next time, yes? This has been a fine adventure, but I find myself eager to take advantage of my new freedom. I think the time has come for me to go. All right. You make a convincing argument. You do seem to stumble onto treasure on a regular basis somehow. Not even for the treasure, no. I think it is best I go, all things considered. Believe it or not, despite my feelings about the crows in general, I had no argument with Taliesin in specific. He was a good friend, whose only fault lay in his priorities. I had no wish to fight him, and truly, I would have preferred he not come after us at all, but what is done is done. Ah, I see. Then perhaps it is time for us to part ways, unless you intend to take this personally. But you have already said that you cannot accept what I did. It cannot be both ways, my friend. No. Truly, I think you and I are done. Trust me, it is better this way. It was. And more. But there is no need to relive the past. That is all behind me now. On the contrary, I let him face you, and I knew he would lose. It was his choice, but that is all done now. Are you implying that you might do so? I see. And what is it that I should do so as not to force you to do this thing, assuming that you could even contact the crows and that they would believe you? It would almost be tempting to take you up on that threat. Truly. Then so be it. I shall simply say farewell. Until we meet again. I see. A friend to the last, then, are we? Then I shall simply say thank you. Until we meet again. I see. As you say, then. I don't know. It seems a strange thing to simply say. Who else would tell them? But no matter. Oh, I see. Pull on the leash when correction is needed, is it? Have it your way, I suppose. It is of no matter. I would have asked earlier, but I wanted to wait until you seemed ready to speak. Which you do, I see. You are a terribly odd man. You know this, I hope. I see. You are a terribly odd woman. You know this, I hope. Well, here's the thing. I swore an oath to serve you, yes? And I understand the quest you're on, and this is all very fine and well. My question pertains to what you intend to do with me once this business is over with, as a point of curiosity. Not precisely. I said I would serve you until you saw fit to release me. One simply assumes that once your Grey Warden business is finished, you would have no need of an assassin to follow you about. Am I wrong? Oh, not more than friends? Spoil sport. It is good to know what my options might be, but that is for another time. For now, we have much to do, yes? Indeed we shall. So would I should think. Indeed. I might even be glad to call myself such, come to think of it. I'm sure I could come up with a few more if pressed. I see. Then I shall have to brush up on my shoe-shining skills, won't I? Oh, that is certainly good to know, considering the crows are no longer a concern. Oh, I made the oath willingly, but if that's how you see it, then all the better. For the moment, it's still best I stay, considering my standing with the crows. But let's assume that I didn't desire to leave when the time came. What then? Oh, I imply nothing specific, of course. Of course it is afterwards. The ravishing part is a given. Now there's a thought. Normally I am the one doing the ravishing when it comes to comely lasses. I like it. Oh, what's this? I get ravished once all is said and done? What a dirty little mind you have, my friend. I'm impressed. But you're also distracting me from the point. I said I would serve until you released me. Could I? And what if I didn't wish to leave? It is difficult to say. Is there no one that I might stay for? That makes it an easy decision, then. How should I know? I cannot see the future. What if I liked it here? What if we became fond of each other? Stranger things have happened. Such negativity. See? I have a tendency to grow on others. You'll see. See? I knew I would grow on you. I have that effect. No? Too bad. I was hoping that you might. Ah, well, I suppose there are worse alternatives. No matter why you did it, still it was done, and I the benefactor. So, thank you. You say that so quickly, and yet it is an odd thing for me to hear. I am slow to think of these things, but then they are not entirely familiar to me, after all. In the Crows, we do not have friends, and yet here you are, and I cannot help but consider you such. What we are doing here, stopping the blight, I cannot think of anything I have ever done which is so worthy. Ah, and here I thought... Well, it does not matter what I thought. I was mistaken. Forgive me for assuming too much. Still, I am glad to accompany you on your quest, as it is. You have made for a most amiable partner. More than I normally expect from a mark. But, nevertheless, the thanks needed to be said. Let us continue on our way. No, there is a need. I am simply not accustomed to the customs that come with our arrangement. Then allow me to say this. I intend to see this through to the end with you. After all, someone must take responsibility for preventing your untimely death. A suitable task for a friend, yes. Now, isn't that odd? Just a year ago, Taliesin was telling me, Zevran, why are your plans always so horrid? Planning has never been my strong suit. Now, killing and love-making. Killing and love-making and witty retorts. Those I am better at. I forget where I was going with this. Well, no matter. Oh, I'm not going to die. It's always the Grey Wardens that die. Did you not read the stories as a child? The hero always dies. Unless the hero has a trusty sidekick with him, then the sidekick dies instead. I knew there was a catch. This friendship business is for the birds, I see. If someone had said to me just a year ago, Zevran, my lad, you're going to fail against your most important mark, and it will be the smartest thing you've ever done, I would have slit his throat. So, yes, I'm right with you on the never know what's going to happen bit. I believe I founded the club. I said that not long ago. Taliesin offered to come to the ambush with me, and I said, Taliesin, I don't need any help. This Grey Warden is a new recruit. How hard could it be? But then, if I had been more open-minded to his help, either you would be dead or I would be, so it was better I refused. I must admit that I have thought of you in the same way. I simply had no idea you might feel the same. How very novel. Well, now that that moment's over with, shall we return to the road? I was working with another crow, a rather handsome human fellow with the most brilliant eyes. But I digress. We'd been flirting for hours while waiting for a mark to return home, and I was beginning to find him tiresome. And then the fellow up and vomited upon my good leather shoes. I was working with another crow, a rather buxom human lass with the roundest posterior you had ever laid eyes upon. But I digress. We had been flirting for hours while waiting for a mark to return home, and I was beginning to find her tiresome. And then the lass up and vomited upon my good leather shoes. Well, I turned to the fellow and said, thank the maker, I thought it was just me. Well, I turned to the lass and said, thank the maker, I thought it was just me. Better warned than in too deep. But never mind. Sometimes these things fly right over my head. Probably. We may have been drinking at the time. I don't care to remember. Oh, this won't take long. Trust me. Well, now, I imagine that's a very fair question. Being an assassin, after all, is a living, at least as far as such things go. I was simply never given the opportunity to choose another way. So, if that choice presents itself, Why should I not seize upon it? I don't know that I would put it precisely that way. I was but a boy of 7 when I was purchased. For 3 sovereigns, I'm told. Which is a good price, considering I was all ribs and bone and didn't know the pommel of a dagger from the pointy end. The crows buy all their assassins that way. Buy them young, raise them to know nothing else but murder. And if you do poorly in your training, you die. To be truthful, I didn't even know the crows existed when I joined them. Now that you mention it, I am not entirely certain. Of course, you compete against your fellow assassins, and those who survive are rightfully proud of it. Oh, I don't know about that. The crows who are actually good enough to survive come to enjoy some of the benefits. Was I whining? It's not a life without benefits, for those who can actually survive it long enough to become good. In Antiva, being a crow gets you respect. It gets you wealth. Gets you women. And men. Or whatever it is you might fancy. But that does not mean doing what is expected of you always. And it means being expendable. It's a cage, if a gilded cage. Pretty, but confining. At the moment, I happen to fancy you. Which is handy, as I happen to be following you about the countryside. That is, of course, presuming you don't decide to kill me at some point. It spoils the mood, I'm told. I fancy many things. I fancy things that are beautiful and things that are strong. I fancy things that are dangerous and exciting. Would you be offended if I said I fancied you? Ah, that's too bad. I do so enjoy it when I get to be flirty. This is good to know. Oh, you're speaking seriously, aren't you? I do forget that this is not Antiva City. We are a little more open-minded about such things where I hail from. Is this something that I should beg pardon for? Of course, my mistake. Then I do apologize. Though I remind you, you did ask. Pleasantly, I hope. You did ask, remember. But I believe we were talking about my leaving the crows. I certainly hope so. I have earned the crows a great deal of money, and none of it has come easily. And become the next mark for some up-and-coming crow? Not likely. The only way to leave is for them to think you're dead. And even then, you'd best be scarce. As for what I'll do in the future, presuming that there is one, I truly can't imagine. It might be interesting to go into business for myself, for a change. Far away from Antiva, of course. For now, naturally, I go where you go. Everything changes, my friend. And be slaughtered? Perish the thought. Eventually can be a very, very long time, if one plays one's cards right. And here I am, happy to be had. Isn't it wonderful how things work out that way? Come now, enough chit-chat. Talking about the crows summons them, you know. Any Antivan fishwife could tell you so. I wouldn't have spoken about it before, but you have been a good friend. There is no reason for me not to speak of it now. Yes, I suppose it is time. You have been a good friend to me, after all. There is no reason to be silent. There is a reason I accepted this mission in Ferelden, far away from home, and it had nothing to do with any thought that I might leave the crows. Meeting you, after all, was quite an accident. My last mission before this one did not end well. I do not know. A little of both, perhaps. You must realize that until that day I was cocky and arrogant. I was the best crow in Antiva, I believed, and I bragged of my conquests often. Both as an assassin and lover. Indeed, I was often told I was insufferable, right before I ended up in bed with someone. Such is how it was. One of the crow masters grew tired of my boasting. My bid for an incredibly difficult mark was accepted, much to my surprise. A wealthy merchant with many guards and completely silent. Taliesin agreed to be part of my team, as well as an elven lass named Rina. She was a marvel, tough, smooth, wicked, eyes that gleamed like justice. Everything I thought I desired. Rina was special. I had closed off my heart, I thought, but she touched something within me. It frightened me. When Taliesin revealed to me that Rina had accepted a bribe from the merchant, told him of our plan, I readily agreed that she needed to pay the price and allowed Taliesin to kill her. Rina begged me not to. On her knees, with tears in her eyes, she told me that she loved me and had not betrayed us. I laughed in her face and said that even if it were true, I didn't care. Yes, it was. I convinced myself it was. Taliesin cut her throat, and I watched her bleed as she stared up at me. I spat on her for betraying the crows. When Taliesin and I finally assassinated the merchant, we found the true source of his information. Rina had not betrayed us, after all. I wanted to tell the crows what we had done, our mistake. Taliesin convinced me not to. He said it would be a foolish waste. So we reported that Rina had died in the attempt. We needn't have bothered. The crows knew what we had done. The master who disliked me told me so to my face. He said the crows knew, and they didn't care. And one day, my turn would come. Of that, I have no doubt at all. To rub it in my face, perhaps. That I was nothing. That she was nothing. I felt empty. I felt as if I was nothing. I felt as if she had been nothing. You once asked why I wanted to leave the crows. In truth, what I wanted was to die. What better way than to throw myself at one of the fabled Grey Wardens? And then, this happened. And here I am. It feels good to speak of it to someone. I swore I never would. No. What I want is to begin again. You have been a friend to me. And more. Far more than I deserve. You have been a friend to me, far more than I deserved. Whatever it is I sought by leaving Antiva, I think I have found it. I owe you a great deal. Let us return to your mission, shall we? Suddenly I do not feel like standing about. Aha, so finally the poison has taken effect. A joke, a joke! Yes, death happens. Of course not. I didn't care to know. The mission itself was quite successful. I mean that it did not end well for me. My adventures? I'm hardly an old man just returned from across the ocean, am I? Should I shake my fist at nearby children while I talk about the good old days? Oh, well, if a racist crack like that doesn't cajole me into telling a tale, then nothing will. Falling down a flight of stairs is an adventure. Falling into someone's bed, also an adventure. I am assuming what you're looking for are professional anecdotes. You mean you want to hear about the grueling training? Being locked in an oubliette for weeks at a time? The slavery? The festering injuries? Or are we seeking something more glamorous? Well, that should be easy enough, I think. Oh, those things never happened to me. Your wish is my command. No, I didn't say that. Old men love to talk, after all. Will I get a kiss afterwards? Hot. Do I have to still tell this story? Is that Ferelden for virile and sexy? Because if so, I like it. Indeed, that's what made it hot. Such violence. It must be a Grey Warden thing. I do like the look on your face when you say that. Do not worry, my friend. I only jest. You seem so surprised. You are a lovely woman. I am a lovely man. Sound familiar? Ah, turn down again. You try to kill a woman twice and suddenly she turns icy on you. Who would have guessed? Oh, good idea. I'll have to keep that in mind for tonight. Oh, now the anticipation is going to kill me. Thank you very much for that. Then it hardly seems worthwhile. Oh well, let's see. My second mission ever for the crows was a bit intriguing. I was sent to kill a mage who had been meddling in politics. In Antiva, nobody is too important to escape the reach of the crows. They've killed kings and queens. That is simply how it is. Well, it was just the one mage. Not as simple a mission as the vagrant Grey Warden or two, perhaps. How should I know? I got the impression it involved sex, but then I get that impression about most everything. Odd, really. As it turned out, the mage in question was quite a delightful young woman. Long, divine legs, as I recall. I caught her in a carriage on her way to escape to the provinces. After I killed her guard, she got down on her hands and knees and begged for her life. Rather aptly, I might add. So I joined her in the carriage for the night and left the next morning. Yes, but not on purpose, actually. On the contrary, it was she who used me. Or she tried to. Well, yes, twice, actually. Then she decided to try and use me instead. The woman had actually convinced me to speak to the crows on her behalf. What can I say? I was young and foolish at the time. Then, as I was kissing her goodbye to return to Antiva City, she slipped on the threshold and fell backwards out of the carriage. Broke her neck. Shame, really, but at least it happened quickly. At first, yes. Well, not upset. Surprised is really a better word. Then I found out that she had told the driver to take her to Janellen instead. She had planned to lose me in the provinces. I would have looked very foolish to the crows. As it was, my master was very impressed that I had done such a fine job of making it look like an accident. The circle of magi was unaware of foul play, and everyone was happier all around. I suppose, but she was dead. She didn't need to be happy. I got stupid, in fact, and very lucky. Like being spared by a benevolent Mark who then helps me escape from the crows. Yes, it does seem to happen now and again, doesn't it? It was after that when I learned that one needn't let a pretty face go to your head. Professionalism was key. That's my moral of the day, you see. Well, there is you. But I'll point out that you did have to capture me and tie me up first. Every rule has its exception. Now that I've mentioned tying me up in that context, do we have extra rope about? Oh, I might be convinced. I think that it would take being captured and tied up by a handsome grey warden at the very least. You should see your face when you say that. Now we run hot, now we run cold. Such a tease. And here the crows had told me that getting captured in the line of duty was the worst thing possible. What do they know? Oh, I might be convinced. I think that it would take being captured and tied up by a beautiful woman at the very least. Without a doubt. But a certain coldness is called for, no? You would think that after all my youth and the hardships of my training, such coldness would have come naturally. Alas, not. And one that not everyone learns, I'm sad to say. And a bit more besides. Yes, it's true. But that's enough tale spinning from me for the moment. Talking about the mage has made me a bit nostalgic, I'm afraid. Ah, the good old days. Not actually, no. I was a bit unimpressed by the development at first. Again, well now, what might interest you, I wonder? Shall I describe the stages involved with Lanthrax poisoning? I watched a man go through all 7 once. No, I'll not inflict that upon you just yet. Ha, you have rather macabre tastes, I see. I like that. You should see the look you have. I jest, of course. Let's see. How about the largest battle I ever took part in? That would have been the slaughter of Prince Azrin. Did you hear of that down in these parts? Me? Not personally, but I did take part in the attack. Prince Azrin was 4th in line to the throne, you see. He started off as 11th, but worked his way up the old-fashioned method by inheriting control of an entire Crocel from his grandfather. After assassinating his way through the royal family, the king hired 3 other cells to take down Prince Azrin once and for all. I was in one of those cells. Antivan royalty is very much bound up in the crows. You wouldn't want it run by a bunch of commoners, after all, would you? And this means they get involved in politics quite often. This particular fight nearly bankrupted the nation, I understand. It almost ended up putting a crow on the throne, a commoner. But that's a whole different story. I played a very small part. My part in the entire battle was taken up trying to reach Princess Verina, who had thrown in with her brother. I killed about 11 of her guards personally before I got knocked out of a window. I landed in a river and nearly drowned. I was fished out by some urchins who robbed me blind. Made off with my boots, too. At least they didn't cut my throat. And that was my part in history. I had to find my way back to the safe house, bruised and naked, and thankful to be alive. Nothing about this work is glorious. Quite the opposite. If I indulge in a little vice and have sex with whatever I fancy, it's mainly to make things more interesting. It's true. I live a charmed life. One of the prostitutes that raised me was a fortune-teller. Said I wouldn't die young. She was rather startled by that. But there you go. Tale told. Let's be off before I tell more embarrassing stories, huh? Antiva might seem a bit odd in that way to outsiders. We take it in stride, however. Assassins are simply part of the landscape, so to speak. It was also long ago. I was still building my legend, so to speak. Prince Azrin was too powerful. Who could you send to arrest the man that wasn't either in his pocket or that didn't fear being assassinated first? Well, the only one that's really worth telling is the story of the mission right before I came to Ferelden. But no, I would rather not. I shouldn't have said anything. Nothing that I would prefer to speak of. Perhaps another day, I'm sorry. Thank you. Perhaps another day, huh? Perhaps another day. I apologize. Not everyone, but a handsome man like yourself. Why not? I am sure you are a man who draws many stares from women and other men alike. Does this bother you? But you would prefer I desisted, perhaps. It would be difficult traveling as we do in close proximity, but I am nothing if not a gentleman. Ah, yes, such is my burden now, isn't it? Fair enough. Now that that is out of the way, shall we move on? With my eyes fastened elsewhere, I assure you. Your wish is my command. Oh, Now this is intriguing. I shall have to redouble my efforts immediately. Then I shall keep that in mind. And perhaps even redouble my efforts. There was a young elven dancer in Antiva City once, and I believe I actually managed to stare off all 7 of her skirts. It's a trick worth retrying. Now that that is out of the way, perhaps we should move on. With you in front, of course. I was raised in a brothel and trained to seduce whomever is required. Open-mindedness is a survival trait, and I learned long ago to make no such judgments. But if you would rather I desisted, I shall do so. I've no wish to make you uncomfortable. Then I shall stop. Please accept my apologies. But a beautiful woman like yourself, why not? I'm sure you draw many stares from men and even other women. Does this bother you? And why not? There are many things to enjoy about being a crow in Antiva. You are respected, you are feared, the authorities go out of their way to overlook your trespasses, even the rewards are nothing to turn your nose up at. As for the killing part, well, some people simply need assassinating. Or do you disagree? Now there's an interesting word, innocent. How many men do you know who can claim to be truly innocent? But if you're talking generalities, such as children and relatives and bystanders and such, never on purpose. But it happens. It's unfortunate, but death comes to us all. If not me, then some wasting disease, or a fall down the stairs, or at the hands of a darkspawn. It's all relative in the end. Death happens, as we like to say. And when I get paid for it, death happens more often. A professional murderer, in fact. Did I suggest otherwise? Let me ask you a question, then. You have killed a great many since becoming a Grey Warden, no? Have none of them deserved their fate? Yet they deserved their fate nevertheless, and yours was the hand that dealt it to them. And you have only ever killed Darkspawn? I find that hard to believe. But so be it. Perhaps I simply do not live up to your standards. I often find myself the instrument of fate, ending these lives for one necessity or another. I console myself with the notion that most of them had it coming. As far as enjoying the act of killing itself, why not? There is a certain artistry to the deed, the pleasure of sinking your blade into their flesh and knowing that their life is in your hands. It is not pleasure, per se, nothing sexual. It is more a sense of satisfaction, a feeling of power. Does that make sense? No matter. You enjoy getting the blood flowing, whether it is yours or others? Yes, I know the type. It is? Perhaps you are right. I've been told from time to time that I am a sick, sick man. Often in bed, oddly enough. There are many things I did not enjoy about being a crow, of course. Having no choice, being treated as an expendable commodity, the rules. Oh, so many rules. But simply being an assassin, I like it just fine. I will continue to do it if I can, even if I am not a crow. Honestly, could you picture me doing something else? I mean professionally. Or maybe you mean professionally as well. Perhaps you intend to peddle my services to bored Ferelden noblewomen. It is an interesting thought, but I've always removed my clothes strictly on an amateur basis. A talented amateur, of course, but an amateur nonetheless. Really? I can picture you doing a few things yourself, whereas I am content merely doing what I happen to be good at. It's a talent that not many come by honestly. I don't see why I need not pursue it. None that I wouldn't get into trouble for performing publicly. Somehow that sounds less complimentary than I had anticipated. Of course, all these thoughts are moot. Chances are still good that you and I will perish, eaten by darkspawn or slain by the crows at some point. Very gruesomely, I imagine. But it is pleasant enough to chat about. Come, let's move on while our boots still have some wear in them. That would be too clever of me, I suspect. By all means. As you like. Oh, this should be good. Go ahead.
I think I saw him flinch that time.
Maybe. We'll make you scream yet, apprentice.
We're not going to go easy on you. Trust me.
No, I wouldn't want you to hold back. I'd be disappointed if you did.
This one has spirit. It's a shame we have to break him.
What? What are you doing here? You're not supposed to be here. I can't. I need to stay strong. This is my test. I'm going to be a crow. I need to show them I can tolerate pain. What? That cannot be. And yet, you speak the truth. I can feel it. Is this nothing but a bad dream? A bad memory?
Oh, I think he's questioning us. That's a very, very bad thing to do, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yes. He will be punished for that. Severely punished.
I like a woman who knows exactly what she wants. I really do. So what shall it be? I'll even shine armor. You won't find a better deal, I promise. See? I knew we could find a common interest. Or two, or three. Really, I can go all night. These things you say, they must drive the men back home simply wild. Oh, I certainly could, but I won't. I swore to the crows that the things they taught me were to remain a secret. And while, yes, they are already angry at me, I'd rather not push things, you see. You need to learn the arts of the crows in order to slay Darkspawn, do you? You seem to be doing fine as it is. If you are truly insistent, well, let me think about it. The crows are already angry at me, yes? Who knows? You would order me to betray my solemn oaths? What an unexpected turn of events. Sadly, the answer is still no. Come now, you don't need this training. You seem to be able to slay things simply by staring at them hard enough. I'm still thinking about it. I don't yet want the crows to actively hunt me, you see. Maybe later. I suppose the crows are already furious, yes? What harm is another tweak to their nose? If you wish to be trained in the basics of an assassin, I can certainly show you. Or anyone else who is also a rogue. It shall be fun. I will make it fun, I promise. I could teach others, but not yourself. First, I would need someone who has training as a rogue. That is, unless you would care to spend the years it takes to gain the fundamentals. But if there should be such a person who desires this training, yes, by all means, send them to me. The crows are already furious, no? I shall enjoy tweaking their nose further. If they're dirty ones, certainly. Can I respond in poetry? No? How sad. Very well. But I consider this pillow talk. All right. But I get to stare at you luridly while you do so. Whatever you'd like to ask. Well, the crows would have you believe that it is an involved process that takes years of training. The sort that tests both your resolve and your endurance. Survive that process and maybe, just maybe, you're good enough to start being considered one of them. But quite frankly, the truth is that all it requires is the desire to kill people for a living. It's surprising how well one can do in such a field. Now, it need not be thought of so crudely. We all do our share of murdering around here, don't we? I don't know about that. It's simply a slightly different skill set from your average killer, as I see it. An assassin simply specializes in striking from stealth, and in maximizing that first attack to be as lethal as possible. Debilitate your foe, either by poison or by crippling their limbs, makes any follow-up combat you need to engage in that much simpler. See? Getting paid for the act is beside the point. An assassin is more a tactical choice than a lifestyle. Then I don't imagine an assassin's life would be one for you. I do. It is not something inherent in an assassin's skills, however, merely something complementary. Of course, the crows like to pretend that their abilities are trade secrets, shrouded in shadows and wrapped in a blanket of mystery. So let's just keep this between you and me, shall we? Within the crows, I did. But it has been something the crows have devoted a great deal of time to perfecting. Again? I'm game. Then I suppose I shall stay? Is that good? You know, that is so very true. Ha! So the choice is made for me after all. Well, that was bracing. There's nothing like a good racking, is there? What are you doing? Where are you going?
Ow. Maybe true, but ow.
Surely we can discuss things once we are away from here, no? You know, I could get to like this. The last time I came to Denerim, I stayed at an inn so filthy the bedbugs had fleas. So, you have heard the rumor about the future queen? She has this elven fellow on the side. Handsome, naturally. He is no dummy either, let me tell you. You injure my honor. Such as it is, my being an assassin. But no. No blackmail today. I know how things are. I shall make it easy for you. What we have, if it can no longer be, then it can no longer be. Oh? I must admit I do love a good royal scandal. Let us continue on then. We can always discuss this more later, provided one of us is not eaten by a dragon. And if so, problem solved. No, I had assumed, We have become close over time, you and I. I simply thought once this all ended. But if you say that nothing is to change, then I am glad. Let us not fool each other, yes? There are many reasons. It is true. Best to end it here. We have become close, it's true, but once all this excitement ends, we must be realistic, yes? No, do not be sorry. I am not. You have made a fine match, and if she proves a poor wife, then you know who to hire, yes? You have made a fine match, and if he proves a poor husband, then you know who to hire, yes? Assassination jokes. Will they never grow old? Come, let us return to the task at hand. So, you have heard the rumor, yes? The future prince consort has a lover. Handsome fellow, too. Such a scandal. It's true. They never share their husbands willingly. So selfish. So, there is a rumor going about. This fellow, I know, he is to marry a queen. The things people will say. Upset? No, not at all. So, there is a rumor going about. This beautiful woman I know, she is to marry a king. The things people will say. I don't know how you knew I was missing my homeland, but this does the trick nicely. Thank you. Wait, these are Dalish, are they not? My mother was Dalish, and had a pair very similar to these. We were not allowed such things, of course, and eventually they were found and taken. I am thankful you found a pair so much like them. I hereby pledge my oath of loyalty to you until such a time as you choose to release me from it. I am your man, without reservation. This I swear.